Welcome to 2 Minutes to Review. I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. You click the picture. This is easily one of the most anticipated metal albums of 2021. It's been 5 years.
Don't say that.
Yep.
Has it really been 5 years? Oh my.
2016 gave us Magma, and Gojira in 2021 is giving us Fortitude.
Dare I say also, not to plug our past episodes, but if you recall, in a past episode, if you have to pick three, we declared Magma as one of the best albums to come out in the 2010s. And it's understandable because Gojira is just one of the best metal bands out there currently. Every time I listen to them, I just get pumped up and excited. And people have been waiting for new Gojira for a long, long time. And as soon as they announced Fortitude, it's like, yes, finally, let's do it. So of course, as soon as they announced it, we just knew, no crap, we're going to be reviewing it. So yeah, longest review in under 2 minutes. It's probably going to be, fair warning, it's going to be tough because I think both you and I, Matt, can talk about Gojira for hours.
Yes.
Hours. If you've never seen them live, where have you been? Go do it as soon as concerts come back. So I know that we're excited to get into the reviews, but I think first we need to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Lucky 13 Beard Co.
Yeah, these guys make small batch handmade beard balms and oils right here, our home state of New Jersey. Company's always putting out brand new scents. I mean, my favorite has been the tobacco vanilla for a while. If you're more into like tropical scents, they've got one based on the owner Ed's honeymoon. So it's all like tropical. It's almost, I think, like a pina colada type scent, he told me. But yeah, just really great stuff. If you've never tried them, and you've got a lot of facial hair, give yourself a little bit of love and care. Use our code when you go to their Etsy shop. Go to etsy.com/shop/lucky13, the number, Beard Co., and put in EFP10 in your cart when you're checking out, and you'll get 10% off of your order. I mean, you really can't miss on this one.
Absolutely. Again, EFP10. Use that code when you go check out. And trust me, ladies, you're going to love the smell just as much as they will. Trust us. Our wives can attest. So, without further ado.
I'm going first.
Well, I was going to say, I'm a gentleman.
Oh,
I was going to let you be.
You're a gentleman.
I was going to let you go first. I am a gentleman.
Okay.
I'm a gentleman who uses fine beard oils from Lucky 13 Beard Co. I'm proud of myself for that little plug.
Good job. Woo-hoo. I'll give you that one.
Thank you. Let me know when you are ready by making the sound of Godzilla. Because, as we all know, Gojira is French for Godzilla. It all comes full circle. You're welcome. Make the noise when you're ready.
Roar.
3, 2, 1, go.
It's really nice to have one of the most anticipated albums of 2021 be released and deliver on all levels. From start to finish, Fortitude feels like controlled chaos. It is not a bad thing at all. When you think of Gojira, you know, their technicality is there, and just right when it's ready to go completely off the rails, they pull you back in with tight grooves, signature Gojira trills and ambience, and that the band has been known for some time. One of the major differences that I find with Fortitude and the band's 2016 Magma is that Fortitude's songs really do feel more exploratory into the formula that they laid out in 2016. Magma relies on singular killer riffs and raw aggression on songs like Stranded and Shooting Star, but on Fortitude, you get that plus so much more on tracks like Born for One Thing, Hold On, and Grind. Now, some of their tastiest riffs in their careers come on songs like Amazonia, Another World, and Newfound, which, dare I say, introduces a slight reinventing the Steel era Pantera on it. If I do have to criticize one thing about the album, it's that I wanted to see them pull back and strip down the vocals a little bit to get a little bit more, raw on here. And to my surprise, they did. On the Chant, they started there, and they linked, actually in a very proper way, they linked a interlude, which is the title track, into the song The Chant. They blended together perfectly, and it's one of my favorite on the albums. In another surprise, they did another stripped back song called The Trails, which to me brings in a slight Melvins feel to it. And just in closing, if you enjoyed Magma, your mind is going to be blown by Fortitude.
The time is locked in. So out of 5 stars, what is your ranking for this album?
I think I've done this once before.
Uh-oh.
5 stars.
5 stars. So you are madly in love with this album.
I was thoroughly impressed. Thinking and going back to some of Gojira's prior albums, I've always liked Gojira, and then Magma just took it to another level. And when you take something that was already amazing and somehow you manage to do more with it, feel completely different, and still differentiate yourselves without selling out to what people think that they need in metal, I think this album is what more bands need to really do. Like 5 years
Damn.
does seem like a long time for an album. I mean, we waited how long for a new Tool album? We waited how long for a new Metallica album? Now we're talking, well, Gojira did that in half the time, and more in less than half the time in the case of Tool. And they, I feel, have delivered something that when you listen to it feels special. The only other comparison I can draw to this is another album that we just recently reviewed, in Greta Van Fleet. It might not have been our most favorite album, but I'm going to say that when you hear that album, you could tell that there was time and love put into that album. This one, it's the same thing. You feel special listening to it. I don't know what they did with the production. I don't know how they got to it or how they made it feel this way, but it feels special.
Well, I'm cutting you off right now because now it's my turn to go on and on and on about how much I love this album. Sorry, spoiler alert.
You ready? I don't mean to strand you. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was great.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, let's get this out of the way up front first. Yeah, I was not expecting to hear Gojira embrace their hard rock roots on songs like The Chant, Hold On, and The Trails, let alone the clean singing. You can definitely tell that, they tapped into their 70s and 80s hard rock roots, but it definitely, I got a lot of later day Mastodon vibes from these songs specifically, and that isn't necessarily the worst thing. Sure, they might lack the oomph that you typically get from Gojira, but it is still going to that word special when you listen to it. And it still shows how willing the band is to evolve. And at no point I'm like, oh, they're selling out. Like, no. They are just evolving as artists. But then don't worry. It's still brutal Gojira, the ones that we know. Because then you listen to songs like Sphinx, Grind, and Into the Storm. I mean, this is the band more brutal and heavy than ever. I mean, they are just relentless on these songs. And then you get songs like Another World and Amazonia, where they're really tapping into their love for Sepultura. I mean, it's just refreshing, relentless, invigorating. Those are the words that you constantly attach to Gojira. And time again, they just prove that they are worthy of all the praise. I mean, I've always said that they combined the best elements of bands like Sepultura, In Flames, and even Fear Factory to a certain degree, but still put a refreshing, unique twist to it. Once again, this band proves that they are the tightest, most in sync, and most special band in hard rock and metal with this album. Fortitude is another home run for the French metal band.
And your star rating?
I'm going to give it a 4.
4?
It's tempting to go even as high as 5. Truth be told, I did feel like there's a little something lacking in the clean vocals. And I don't get me wrong, I loved them, but I couldn't help but think, and this is a compliment too, if Mastodon didn't try to be so desert rocky with their later clean singing vocal stuff, still kept the kind of mechanic, tribal, anger, like brutal sound, both clean vocals, it wasn't their tightest, but I also appreciate how tight Gojira is even when they're not tight, if that makes sense.
It's funny that you say that about that, because I felt like on The Chant, they really were doing something so special to them.
They were doing absolutely special, but it felt a little, it was missing a tad of oomph. But then, I mean, this like Into the Storm might be one of my new favorite Gojira songs.
It's a great song.
It's so good. And the way you said controlled chaos, normally that's the kind of description I don't like to use for certain bands, but it's so true. It's so remarkable how relentless but in control this band sounds with everything they do. And I would argue that they are even more in control on this album, even when they go experiment. I mean, I think Amazonia, which is basically their love letter to Sepultura, they've admitted it so much. I mean, it just shows you how a band can still be experimental without actually letting go of the reins. It's so good. I also think it's a testament to how, because they actually finished making, they still had to master it, and that got delayed, but they had finished making this album right before the pandemic started. But then it paused. I think they were even talking about doing a surprise release at one point, but then they put a pause to that until finally they're like, you know what? No, the time is now. The content, the lyrics are so much more relevant than they even anticipated it being. Because initially it was just really the need to save the Amazon rainforest from all of us destroying it. Ironically, like, oh my God, this is way too more relevant to the pandemic than we thought too.
Yeah.
And even they were saying that like they knew it was a good sign that they hadn't listened to it for 6 months. And they were like, oh, do we need to re-record it? Like, do we need to change it? And they listened to it again and I'm like, oh my God, this is still great. And it's true. Like, it sounds timeless. I think that's another great thing to say about Gojira too, is that it sounds futuristic and timeless at the same time. Like, it doesn't sound, I don't know how. Go ahead, sorry.
Especially on Another World. For a sound that can be so tribal feeling at times to feeling like you really are from another world. Like they blended, I think, like, and I don't know if the video is just kicking in my head because I was watching it, but you take that tribalness with this futuristic sci-fi feel and meld it, and this is what you get. Like, this is the metal sci-fi tribal thing that we never knew that we needed.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best way to describe. I mean, I would even say throw in the word mechanical. Like, it's tribal, natural sounding with a sense of metal and mechanical and preciseness that you don't typically get from something that's so free ranging. I don't know if that's even but you know what I mean? Like, it's
well, yeah. Let me see if I can bring that a little
natural, but so precise.
Yeah, let me try to bring that together a little bit, because I think you really did hit on something there, because tribal is all about feeling. Tribal is all like beats, and it's not meant to be like ultra precise, but what they do, because they're a technical metal band, they do kind of work that technicality into like a definite natural rhythmic feeling, kind of like what Tool does, but Tool doesn't go on the ultra metal technical side. You know,
it's a more brutal version of Tool.
It makes you feel human while listening to something that is really difficult to normally grasp the concept of.
I mean, this album is really supposed to be about giving you a boost of energy, a boost of encouragement, and a boost of strength.
And they definitely did that.
It does. Like, it really is just so refreshing. It's almost like having that first cup of coffee in the morning, that necessary needed boost to get you back up on your feet. And I feel like you can say that about so much of Gojira's past stuff too. And the fact that we're still saying that after, I mean, they've been around for nearly 26 years. So to be able to still say that about this band after 7 albums, I think it's just a testament to how incredible they are. I mean, you think about some bands, I mean, I hate to say this, but like Lamb of God, I love them, but they've definitely lost steam over the past few years. And here we are with Gojira. They just continue to get better and better and stronger.
Agreed. Completely agree.
But you know what? None of that actually matters, right? Well,
to a certain extent, but we want to know the times. Because I need to know if I beat you again.
You need to know if you beat me again? Just a few times you beat me. That's
just a few.
So, Matt, you came in at 1 minute and 53 seconds.
Well, then it's official. I did beat you again, because you came in at 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Oh. This might have been the closest we've had in quite a long time.
Yeah, and I'm proud of you. For the second episode in a row, you've stayed under 2 minutes.
Well, thank you. Thank you. No, hold on. The past 3.
Oh, yes,
including the one that I won and kicked your butt in. Well, well done, sir.
Thank you.
Well done. We want to know, though, do you agree with our glowing reviews of this incredible album? Did you enjoy Fortitude as much as we did? Or do you think that Fortitude is lacking something that Gojira typically brings to the table? Let us know on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Epic Footnote. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment on this review, and also take a look at some more podcasts and videos that we have on our YouTube channel. Let us know what you think. And a special shout out to Lucky 13 Beard Co. for sponsoring us and for really giving us a great product.
Small batch made beard bombs and oils right here in New Jersey. Get 10% off of your order right now. Etsy.com/shop/Lucky13, the number Beard Co. And all of your beard bombs and oils 10% off with the code EFP10 when you check out.
Thanks so much for listening, and we hope you join us for another episode real soon.
You're a shooting star.
What, are you trying to do like an Earth, Wind, and Fire? You're a shooting star. Thanks, everyone.
See ya.